Okay, hey everyone. I'm sitting here by the fire because in my particular fireplace, I have to kind of sit here and tend it when I have it going. I like to do it. What am I talking about? Anyway, but as I was sitting here staring at the fire, I was like, I felt myself zoning out. And we just touched on this in another video of mine about meditation and how that tends to be my brand of meditation, is the zone out time. So I was zoning out thinking about the Tower card. Now, if you're familiar with tarot and this community and what we talk about tarot. We've been talking about cards of the year and things like that. And I wanted to kind of touch on how I've been feeling with my card of the year, which is the effing Tower card. That's my 2021 card of the year, according to my birthday and the year itself. Now, we could condense that to the Chariot card, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ride or die that baby. So I've been meditating on that. And last year, my word of the year was MINDSIGHT, which I did a video every month about that and what that entailed for me. It was like a little bit of a getting to know myself. And this year, I really wanted to plug in to my Tower, the tarot card of mine for the year, which is the Tower, and really focus on a word for the year, like an actual word, not a word that I made the fuck up, like MINDSIGHT. And I kind of wanted to talk about what it's been doing to me because it's been sending me on a lot of journeys. Basically, it didn't fill me with good things at first, knowing that the Tower card was my 2021. That was something to look forward to. I kept thinking about that situation that you could be faced with. Like, would you want to know when you're going to die? No, please don't tell me. I'm going to live my life no matter what's going to happen to me. Okay? I'm going to live. That's my motto. I'm going to live. I don't care. Don't tell me, because the last moments of my life will be spent in total emotional pain and agony, and no. So I kind of wrote that, like, here I am awaiting my Tower moment, right? That will happen in 2021. So I've been sitting with it the last week or so, and I've been trying to find the silver lining, I guess you could say. And what I found was, it was really, really surreal. When I would think back onto my New Year's Eve, okay? My New Year's Eve was spent at home, with my family that I live with, my husband and my 2 kids, okay? And we had all the traditional superstitious foods, okay? So I don't know if anyone else does this. I don't even know if this is like a South thing, but where I'm at in the South, we have specific foods you have to eat or you're not going to be prosperous, okay? You cannot clean anything. I remember my mother-in-law years and years and years ago, inevitably, every time we would go over to their house for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, or it was New Year's Day is when you can't clean. We would go over there to hang out with them on New Year's Day, and inevitably I would drop something on the damn floor, and I would get the broom out of habit, and she would literally scream at me, okay? If you have a mother-in-law, you know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? And so I've gotten into the habit now of not cleaning, right? So I didn't clean, and then New Year's Day night, we had a food ceremony, which is have all the typical foods, right? Which, in, I guess, my family's superstition, that is black-eyed peas, collard greens, and in our case, we mix a whole bunch of greens together, collards, turnips, all that. And we cook those. We cook cabbage. We cook pork for prosperity. And so we had pork chops. We had mixed greens. We had purple, not purple. I keep wanting to say purple whole peas, but it's not. It's black-eyed peas. It's a color, and cornbread. Cornbread is a food staple here anyway. So cornbread for gold, right? So we got dollars, pennies, and gold. All right, that's the prosperous food that you're supposed to consume on New Year's Day. And then at the end of the day, okay, a couple years ago, I came up with this ritual that I do every New Year's Day, okay? We've already had New Year's Eve, but New Year's Day is the very start. So that's like, we're in the wheel, right? And so I came up with this ritual of a house cleanse that I do with sage, of a bundle that I make myself. The full moon, is it the full moon? I guess it's the full moon because I'm banishing shit. So the full moon prior to the New Year's, okay, whenever that falls, it's bound to be within a couple of weeks, okay, I make a smudge stick, and or a sage stick. I want to be a little bit more correct with that. A sage stick, a cleansing stick, out of the sage and rosemary that I have in my garden, okay? So I make that up, and then I let it dry for however long it is. This week I was blessed, it was 2 weeks, so it was actually dry and not half wet. But then I go around and cleanse the house before midnight of New Year's Day, right? That's my ritual. And a beautiful thing happened in that time frame that I was cleansing the house. I was going around, I was sending out I was chanting, sending out my vibrations with the smoke, right? To kind of dislodge anything that may be in the house. And so I was going around doing that. The windows were open. It was fucking cold. And then all of a sudden, right before midnight, it started to rain. I mean, right before midnight. I had the doors open because, okay, if you know how smudge sticks work, sage sticks work, this shit can get potent as hell, okay? The whole neighborhood thinks you're smoking something, all right? So I had the doors and the windows open, and I was cleansing the house, and then it started to rain, literally like 10 minutes before midnight on New Year's Day. And I thought, I didn't even know. I mean, half the time I'm not really paying attention to the weather. Like on a news front, I just kind of go with whatever's going outside. I don't give a fuck what the news says. So I don't like watch the weather on the news. So it started to rain, and I was just dumbfounded. I sat there staring out the window and the door, like with my sage stick, like, it's raining. And then for something, a step further, okay? I don't want to get too graphic, but I started, Aunt Flo came that night. Okay, it wasn't technically midnight, but it still happened that night, okay? And I woke up the next morning, January the 2nd, and I thought it was raining. And Aunt Flo came. That has to mean something. It meant something to me, okay? I know that it's really coincidental, but it meant something to me. And I thought, cleanse. I literally woke up with that word in my brain. And that became my word for 2021. And then, like the last week, really, as I've been zoning out, thinking about the tower, this inevitable tower moment that is my life of 2021. And I thought, well, shit, everyone is living that right now. Everyone's living this tower moment. And how would I rope that into cleanse? How would I rope my tarot card of the year being the tower? God, say that 5 times fast. And the word cleanse, and how would I meld them together? I've had a conversation with Queen Aset about this. I believe about the tower. Let it fall down, right? That's her motto. Burn it to the ground, right? Let's just burn it, flatten it all out. And while I was sitting here staring at this fire, I started thinking about the destructive nature of the tower card. And then I got to thinking about cleanse and how fire is cleansing, right? And I was forcing it, basically. In my zone out, I was forcing the two words to just like meld together. And what I figured out was I was thinking about Queen Aset, and I was thinking about our conversation, and I was thinking about fire, and I was thinking about lightning, and I thought about the tower itself. Now, when we think about the tower card in tarot, it's a castle, right? Like a chess piece. It looks very much like a chess piece. In the tower itself, right? It's just like this cylinder with this, I guess the crown was sitting on top of the tower. Anyway, it's falling down. And it's kind of, what do you call it? Hollow? It's hollow, right? So get this. Get what my mind did. Okay, let me look. Oh, I'm like looking up. Yeah. Okay. So I had an epiphany, right? The tower, it falls down, right? It's on the ground. You don't see that in the tarot card, but that's inevitably. You know, when something falls down, it's earthquake style on the ground, right? And I thought that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. It's in the process of falling, right? Lots of shit is falling right now, and in the turmoil of it all, we're all feeling it. We're all feeling its destruction. And I thought for a second, what would it look like completely turned over? What would it look like? Have this hollow castle cylinder thing on its side. I want you to really think about that before I tell you the answer. It will look like a tunnel. It will look like a tunnel. This hollow castle on the ground has turned itself into a tunnel. The lightning that was on the top of this tower is now at the end of the tunnel. So what do the figures that are falling off this tower gonna do? It just came to me that the tower turns into a tunnel with a light at the end of it. No more crown, no more nothing. What do we do now that it's on the ground and it's turned into a tunnel? You know? Get that Nancy Drew like soul of yours, you know? Get out, whatever, Mystery Machine, whatever the fuck, books you read, TV shows you watched. What do you want to do now? You want to go in the tunnel? I was watching this thing on Instagram this morning. And if you're watching this today, go to my Instagram, okay? My handle is down in the description box somewhere. And look at my IG stories. There's a link to, I think it's called the People's Oracle. That's their Instagram handle. Go to their page and watch their most recent hour-long thing on who is your enemy. A lot of this meditation, this zone out today, is directly reflected on that. And how this person was talking about spiritual warfare, okay? And when these figures of the tower are on the ground and the castle is on the ground and the whole thing's turned into a tunnel with a lightning light at the end, what are we gonna do? We're going to put on our armor because we are officially in spiritual warfare right now. We're putting on our armor to walk into the tunnel. We have our hermit little lantern and our fucking armor on our chest, and we're going down the tunnel. Because guess what that is? The tower card itself may have a big, huge stop button on it. Like, stop, let's let the destruction happen. But then somehow the start button needs to get pushed. We can't say stay stopped. Right? So let's figure out what our armor is. What is the light? Something for us to look forward to in 2021. That's how I'm going to change the fact that this year is my tower year and that my word is cleanse. That's how I'm melding it together. So I've kind of wrote this. I've kind of just like I said, I had this epiphany literally 20 minutes ago. I kind of drew up a preliminary tarot reading for me to do to kind of get me into the mode of this type of mindset, okay? That the tower is a tower and it's fallen and it's turned into a tunnel and shit like that. And kind of roped in my word of the year. So I want to share that with you guys. You don't have to participate and do this spread if you don't want to, but I really wanted to share the spread. But I'm going to share some things about the spread with you guys because I just felt called to share this with you guys and all the shit that's happening in the world today and how I want to use what I love, which is the tarot, and I want to mix it with what's going on in the world and in my own life and shit like that. So, see you on the other side. Okay, so what I wanted to share was how I kind of came up with this spread. All this happened within this epiphany, okay? I know that's going to sound crazy. This is actually a 4-card spread, and I loved how it turned out. I mean, they're kind of wide, but it's just a 4-card spread, okay? And I want to draw this tower that we are facing right now. And these are dark. It's a dark tunnel, right? And there's cracks in the concrete from where it has been destroyed. But this whole thing down here is a lightning, right? And then the crown is over here somewhere. Anyway, in this dark tunnel, standing here, right? And then here is me with my lantern, right? I'm going in the tunnel, right? Now, number one, the first position, I kind of thought, what the hell would be the first position? Because I'm not really, I tend to lay down cards without them being in the structure of a spread per se. So making my own spreads is kind of hit or miss. And if you wanted to try this tower spread thing out, I guess you can devise how you want to. But what I wanted to do in this first position is assess the damage. After something happens, right? You kind of have to assess what damage has been caused by the tower falling itself, okay? And I think that I'm going to like doing this spread frequently because this is my tower year. I'm going to constantly be wanting to assess the damage of, like, I may be faced with something that may feel like my tower moment, and I'll want to do this spread to kind of assess the damage. None of the things that I may face may be my tower moment. I may not have this stereotypical tower moment ahead of me. It just may be a whole bunch of little ones. Like, who knows? But let's assess the damage first. Now, the damage or the destruction in my mind, body, and soul or spirit. Okay, so I've assessed the damage as a whole, but now I kind of want to go internally with this and see how the damage itself has, what the impact is on me, my emotional state, my intellectual state. You know, this is spiritual warfare. So in order to be the good warrior here, I have to be ready for it, right? I have to be ready to put on the armor. And that is the next position, okay, is your armor. What is the thing I need to embody? What is the thing that I need to concentrate on to harden myself up in the aftermath of the turmoil, right? And then number 4 is the light at the end. What is the light? There has to be a light, something that we're looking forward to help with number 2, to help the next time I go through a tower moment, big or small, I can look back on the light that I was faced with in the aftermath of the previous tower moment, and I can find some solace in that. This could be something simple. A tower moment could be something simple in my own life, as the kids have to quarantine themselves for 2 weeks. And how that's kind of a scary time because you don't know if they're going to get sick and come down with it, but they've been directly, they've been directly with someone, like in the vicinity of someone who has gotten COVID. And it's like, that's a scary time, but then they're going to be at home with me. And so there's a lot of like turmoil with the internet and crap like that. So it's like this whole year could just be a test of my state as a person. And what I'm going to do with that is I would like to think that whatever I'm faced with as a person, I need to assess the damage as a whole. Okay? Then figure out how that makes my body feel. Then, after I've done that, I need to embody some armor. And then once I have the armor, I can go down the tunnel and follow the light, whatever the light may be in that time of my life. And I think that that's how I was able to come up with the Tower/Cleanse 2021 that I will endure. So I hope that this message finds someone that needs to hear it. I know that what's going on right now, it's damaging. This shit is damaging. And I want to see the light, and it's so hard to see the light, but I want to be able to assess the damage, think about my body, think about my friends and my mom's body and my neighbor's body, and how we may be putting on our armor to look to the future. You know, how we need to be thinking about the future. And letting the tower fall so that it can be a tunnel for us to look towards the future with. And I want to be using the tower as a fucking tool. Many blessings. Much love.